Welcome, everybody, to Casting for Two, the podcast with your host, Chris. I am the guy who I just spoke of. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 144. I have a great guest on today, but first, you know how I do things. I gotta do some shop talk, some shoppy talk. I'm still having my GoFundMe going on right now. The link is in the description if you'd like to donate to it. I'd be very appreciative of it. If you would like to share it, I would also be very appreciative of it. Just trying to get my short film made the only way I can. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. Scratch that. Forget it. And as always, if you'd like to keep in contact with me, I'm on Twitter and Instagram, both at castingfor2, or you can send me an email, castingfor2@gmail.com. And that's all I have to talk about. How's your July going by? This month went by very fast, I have to say. I feel like I was just at RTX and celebrating the third year of the show, and then boom. But enough wasting time, which I did a good job. I need to get into my guest today. He was on in December, but I got him back, Mr. Pat Kearns, and he has a solo album out right now, which all you guys should check out because obviously we talk about it. But it's just a great album. So Long City, and I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed my chat. Jeez, I'm tired. I enjoyed my chat with Pat, and I want you guys to listen. So sit back, relax, and Chris, cue the music, please. Hello.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Pat. Not much. What's going on with you?
Not much. I'm here this time.
It's all good. It's funny because I'm very good about knowing when I have an interview and all that, planning my time, all that good stuff. Today I haven't been busy, but I've just been doing like little stuff around, and then so I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go relax and just chill. And then I look at the time and it's 2:50 and I go, I think I have to do something right now. And then I go, oh, wait, interview. So
that's so funny.
Yeah, because I have my work computer where I do everything. I was on it earlier, so I shut everything down. It was just, everything was powered down. I was like, oh, I got an interview. Totally. I almost forgot, but I didn't. In true Chris fashion, I had 5 minutes to spare. But yeah, I've always been a believer in if you're not 15 minutes early, you're late.
That's a good saying. I might have to take that one on.
I can't help, whenever I go to work or somebody and these kids are like, yeah, I woke up 30 minutes and now I'm here. I'm just like, I can't do that. I cannot do that. I need to be ready super early and then go to work. But, whatever. But how's your day going so far? What have you done today?
I've been so far today prepping to go into the studio, but I've been down there talking with my neighbors about just various things going on in the neighborhood so far today.
Gotcha. You guys putting a posse together, a neighborhood watch?
No, I wish it was that simple and stuff. We're trying to find out, or I'm trying to find out because it affects me, uh, uh, about some construction that's going on in the
Mm,
neighborhood.
gotcha. Right on, right on. And so when you say you're going to the studio, are you gonna lay down some new tracks, or are you producing, or?
No, I'm doing mixes
Mm,
for a band called Treble Cuts, a local Portland band, and they're due tomorrow,
mm.
but I have today off, and I'm going to go in early so that I can have an easier day tomorrow.
There you go. There you go. Right on, right on. So, I asked you this last time, or I told you this to get some sleep last time we chat. How are you with the sleep?
Uh, I sleep more these days than like than ever previously in my life. So I'm okay with the sleep and things like that. But I think it's mainly like a health reason why, I used to sleep very little when I was younger
Right, right.
and stuff, like under 6 hours,
Mm.
a night. And now I sleep between 8 and 10 every night.
Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, see, usually 5, 6 hours is my sweet spot, but I find myself when I'm not doing anything during the days and I have some, free time, I take naps now. That's new to me. I've never taken naps.
Yeah, I don't do that yet.
Okay, okay.
It's just, yeah, when I sleep at night, I sleep really deep and sometimes for a long time. So,
Right on, right on. So last time we chat, it was all about your origins, and now we got the origins out of the way, so we can just chat now. But we do have to talk about your solo album,
great.
So Long City, and what was the process of going through? First of all, I'm always curious when you're in a band and then you do a solo album. What was the transition there? Or were you writing songs for your band and then you're like, you know what, maybe I want to save this for my solo album?
Um, there was a little bit of that going on concurrently.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, while I was writing for the last Blue Skies record, but it was more like I, s- I mean, the last Blue Skies record is really personal, but these songs, I didn't know what I was doing when
Mm.
I started doing it. So I was getting some songs that sometimes were more personal to me in some ways, or personal to me in a way that uh, like the taking them to the band and the band's approach wasn't the right approach for the songs,
Mm-hmm.
for the type of message and how I was wanting to put it across. So that was starting to happen, and it was just had become difficult because of some of the former members of the band to sort of continue to move forward with the band.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I don't want to go too deep into this or
Yeah.
whatever, but it is the stuff that is interesting for a podcast. But I was just having, and I wasn't really having legal hassles. I was just having a former member of the band constantly ask me about money and ask me to go to legal arbitration 3 times, all of which what he wanted to go to arbitration for was really uh, like he didn't have any rights over. He was really like, uh, I just don't think he has a strong, real understanding of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, uh, it was becoming a hassle. Like one of the things that he wanted me to go to arbitration over for was use of the band's name.
Mm-hmm.
So if I wanted to use the band's name, I would have to ask his permission, was what he wanted. And it basically like there was nothing wrong with the band, like as far as the art and the relationships I have with the current members of the band, which are some of the old members as well. But it just sort of putting a bad taste in my mouth,
Mm.
and it made me want to do something that was just maybe closer to me in that way. So using my name, it wasn't really like a defense, but I just didn't want those strings attached that just seemed really inappropriate in the first place.
Right, right.
Um,
It's like business got in the way, basically.
yeah, a little bit, and
Mm.
it's really sad. I mean, I do want to say like right away that like it wasn't Mike Lewis, who I still play with, our lead guitar player, who's the biggest contributor to the band, and
Mhm.
I think that it's been his uh, maybe not quite as much as me, but it's been equally a bummer,
Yeah.
for both of us. So that was one aspect of
Hmm.
things that was going on. And then at the same time, I didn't realize it at the time. I didn't realize it until a year ago, until I wrote the title song of the record, that I didn't know what I was writing about. I didn't understand the greater theme of these songs I was writing. I just knew that if I was going to do this solo record, that I was going to write a lot and I was going to keep the ones I liked best.
Hmm.
And uh, I was going to experiment a bit. And as I started doing that and things started coming along, I started to realize there was a pattern to some of the songs that had been written,
Hmm.
uh, a pattern in the subject matter. And at first, it wasn't something I even had trouble putting my finger on it once I recognized it. I knew something was in common. Like I knew I could take a look at the long list of songs and be like, these ones belong all together and these ones are something else. And uh, about a year ago, I wrote the song called "So Long City," and I
Hmm.
realized that I was really writing about uh, things that were happening in my life that I was just coming to terms with. And at that point, it actually made finishing the record pretty easy.
Hmm.
I knew kind of what else I had to write, or I didn't know what was missing, but you know, it sure narrowed it down. Like when you sat down to write things, you knew what belonged.
Right, right. And was
And
there a song that was harder to do? Maybe it was a little bit personal, or just you took
yeah,
more time with.
well, yeah, the title song was harder to do, but not because like I had the song 100% there right away.
Hmm.
But just the way the album needed to come together, which was oftentimes with having it needed to be tracked live.
Hmm.
Uh, it made it difficult to pull off when you're tracking live the acoustic guitar, uh, vocals, and harmonica all at the same time with a drum set and upright bass.
Yeah.
It's a lot of things to one come together. I mean, well, this is sort of the funny way it went. The first time I tried to track it, I didn't have an arrangement. And so
Hmm.
my typical approach to this record was just go in and throw down the basics of what I had and then start to kind of arrange things over the top, you know? And as soon as we tried to put drums to the track that I'd originally tracked, it wouldn't really come together.
Hmm.
And so that first attempt got rejected that way. And then we tried to take drums and create a drum loop because I didn't have a lot of access to drummers and track it that way,
Mm.
and that didn't work either. Like that was really apparent as soon as I attempted it. It was like this is not going to work. And so I came to terms with the fact that basically I needed to instead of make the bones of the song and then add my other people or my other things as I could. I needed to actually arrange a band and rehearse it, you
Hmm.
know, for it. And I knew that the arrangement that I wanted on it, I knew that I wanted drums uh, for it, for that song. I got together with Greg Odell, who's the current drummer for Blue Skies, and we got together in his basement. And I played it for him, and we worked on it for a morning. And he's like, and he said to me, "We need an upright bass player." And I said, "I thought that too." And we knew that we needed to track that live as well to get the right feeling, that we couldn't just add that on later. That it would be much better to have that go down live with the drums and rhythm guitar. And so we kicked around a few bass players for a while, and uh, we basically decided on my wife, who has been an on and off upright bass player for over a decade and wasn't really in very much practice at that point in time. And so we had about a half dozen rehearsals before we went into the studio. And during those rehearsals, because I was having a band come into the studio, I added 3 more songs to their repertoire. And we went in the studio and cut all 4 songs in under an hour.
Nice, nice.
Or under 2 hours, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, it's still nice, still nice.
Still very quick for 4 songs in the studio. And that includes like all our setup time and everything. And basically, like I fleshed a couple of those songs out with things, but some of them are on the record are just the way you heard them in the studio. And the song So Long City, the title track, is exactly the way it went down in the studio, except for I added a second rhythm guitar on a couple small parts just to kind of flesh out the big boomy sections of the song. But other than that, it's just acoustic guitar, vocal, harmonica, upright bass, and drums.
And see, I enjoy it because to me, it's a very easygoing record, like something I would play on a Sunday afternoon, drink lemonade out on the porch, something like that. And I just enjoyed it because it was something different from your last album, which I told you how much I liked your other album, the Blue Skies
thank
album.
You. That makes me happy though too, because I was actually going after Sunday morning, but Sunday afternoon's close enough.
Hey, I sleep in. I'll sleep in. Now, how many instruments do you play?
I don't know. I don't play anything very well.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I mean, that's not totally true. I play but I'm just not a virtuoso on any instrument. Acoustic guitar and guitar in general is my main instrument, my main one that I sit down and write with. But I play harmonica. I can play some keys to a certain degree. I can play percussion pretty well. Like I end up playing percussion on a lot of people's records because I can sometimes play it better than the drummers. I don't know. I'm one of those people, if you hand me something, I can probably do something with it.
Right.
You know? But I'm just not an expert with it. So those are my main ones, but I'm not scared of instruments.
Is there one instrument, if I said you need to learn this and perfect it, which instrument would it be?
Like something unusual and new?
Yeah, something different from your arsenal of instruments.
I don't know. I mean, I don't have anything on my...
Like if I handed you a didgeridoo and said, you will be the best didgeridoo player in the world.
I've never played didgeridoo. I won't say that that's high on my list. My wife and I jokingly refer to them as didgeridon'ts.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't know. I'd be really open. I'm really curious to when people put an instrument in my hand, I usually got to tinker with it for a while and that kind of thing. When I was younger, those sort of things ended up on records. Like when somebody would hand me something like that, it would end up on somebody's record, if not my own, at some point. But as I've gotten older, I've really become more interested in it seems like the quieter instruments and the more traditional ones.
Right.
I've become less interested. I love amplification and I love playing loud rock, but I can tell, like my latest thing that we're going to do with the solo stuff, we're going to play a show at the end of August. At the Kenton Club here in Portland on August 27th, and I'm bringing myself on acoustic guitar. I'm bringing the lineup from the studio, myself on acoustic guitar, Greg Odell on drums, and my wife Susan on upright bass. And then we're adding Mike Lewis, the lead guitar player from Blue Skies.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to play fuzz guitar on a really like a small tube amplifier, and he's going to play some 12-string electric guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And we're adding a multi-instrumentalist who plays tuba and banjo, and he's also going to play acoustic lead guitar as
Okay.
well, all at the same time. And so I've been curious about, I've never done that. We just wanted to throw it together and kind of see how it sounded.
Right, right. See, you're talking to an experienced tubist because
Oh, really?
I started out playing tuba before because I originally wanted to be a drummer. That's all I'd see my sister play in marching band and woodwinds fine whatever, but it was the drummers. That's what I wanted to do. But everyone said I looked like a tuba player, so they slapped a tuba on me.
Ah, hilarious.
So, but now that I'm older, I feel like I'd like to, get the tuba out and just see what I still remember. I mean, B flat scale is all you need if you're a tuba player.
Yeah. I was about to write the tuba player and ask him because I want to write a song for the gig
Yeah.
for tuba, something with him in it, but I needed to find out the good keys for him.
Yep, the B flat. That's all in the years of playing tuba. It was all B flat. So I was like, all right.
Perfect.
But so you were mentioning tour dates for the people at home who want to see you. Where can they do that? I'll probably post this probably like in end of July.
Awesome. You can find out when and where I'm playing at Pat Kearns Music, which is Pat, P-A-T, Kearns, K-E-A-R-N-S, music.com. And it's got a lot of things on there. It's got, you can basically find out about my studio and my studio work that I do on there. I just recently, we put the website up about a year ago, but we wanted to consolidate. You find out the latest stuff that Blue Skies is doing. We also have a show coming up in August. I wanted to get it all in one place. So that's what we did.
There you go. And so if I learn to play mellow didgeridoo, can I join you on stage?
That might happen. What
Okay.
town are you in?
I'm in San Antonio, but I can make it happen.
Excellent. Well, I'm hoping to get out on the road a little bit later here. I don't know when that's going to happen, but Texas could be on my map. So.
There you go. We'll make it Austin because Austin's the place.
Okay. Well, I figure if I'm coming to Austin, I might as well come to San Antonio and Houston as well. So.
Well, all right. Well, Pat, a pleasure chatting with you. And I told you this last time. Keep up the good music, and you still keep up doing the good music. So I thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Thanks, and man, thanks for listening to the record. I'm glad you like it and keep enjoying it.
Oh yeah. Now you have a wonderful day, and don't work too hard. All right.
All right. Talk to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.